On today's Relationship 911, we're talking about...
Getting dumped. Sucks.
It totally does.
I'm Jan.
And I'm Monika. And Elijah, what is today's question?
Jen says, I just got dumped by my boyfriend and I know the relationship wasn't healthy, but I'm having a hard time getting over it. What should I do?
So Jen, here's the thing. The first thing that I want to say is acknowledging you for knowing and identifying that the part of it that wasn't healthy is really the part of it that is the hardest part of this healing, is knowing that because it wasn't healthy, you can't go back. So you're not trying to fix it, you're not trying to solve it, you're not trying to get it back, you're really working to move on. So I want to start by acknowledging you for taking on the journey of moving on and healing yourself. I was in a relationship, a long distance relationship. They were in New Zealand and I was home. We had dated for many years and then they went away. What I had to get to, and it took years, and I'm not suggesting that it's going to take you years, but it took me time to understand because I was I want to do it my way and somewhat ego driven at that time and very righteous at that time, that I felt like I was right. And what I needed to do is I needed to get really humble. And I needed to get clear that the reason I missed them was not them, but that there was a part of me that I let free in that relationship. There was a way that I was playful, there was a way that I was expressive, and that was the part that I felt like I was really losing and saying goodbye to this relationship. So if there's some part of you that feels like it's locked inside of that relationship is the thing that brought it out of you, what you can do is take some time to look inside of yourself and say, it actually is a part of me. And I get to foster, I get to heal the misunderstanding that it may be out there, and I get to pull it back inside of myself and say, these are the qualities, these are the traits, these are the characteristics I'm committed to developing more inside of myself. Or acknowledging that I have inside of myself, maybe there isn't more work to do. But by doing that, it helped me arise out of the ashes of what was destroyed and into this blossoming. And what was really cool about it is that's when I called Jan and said, I want to be with you. And I realized that all the things I thought was because of this other partner were inside of me, and that Jan was the most beautiful and perfect person to bring it out because he knew how to love me in a way I'd never been loved. So I would say to you, what's in store for you, Jen, is a beautiful, committed, amazing relationship with a partner of your dreams as soon as you know that everything inside of you is already there, that you don't need it from someone else, that you don't lose it because of someone else, and that your work is to foster that loving inside of yourself.
Beautiful. And it's so funny because you tell these stories and I'm like, okay, who was this and when was this? And I don't remember this and where was I? I don't even remember any of that.
You weren't a part of any of that.
It's just wild to me.
And we don't talk about those things because they're complete.
They're complete, right.
Yeah.
They're part of the past.
Yeah,
I'm with you. So I have some other additional thoughts. So I would look at it as if the relationship ended and it's almost like a death. And how are you mourning it in a way that's a healthy way to mourn it in order to support you to get through it and then to move on to the next one. Mm-hmm. So the first thing is to not beat yourself up. Yeah. There's really an opportunity for you to beat yourself up for all the things that you did wrong, and also to beat up your partner about all the things that they did wrong, and really a lot of blame and shame around what was unhealthy in the relationship. I would recommend looking at what are the lessons that I learned from that relationship. How was it a gift? And really when you're focusing on the positive, when you're looking at what you have gratitude for in that past relationship, it helps you go from the upset and the anger and the sadness into a loving memory and lessons learned that propel you to the next relationship. And by the way, that takes some time. So you may want to write an angry letter to your partner that you can then rip up and throw away. You might want to write an angry letter to yourself about how all the ways you blew it. Just like get all the negative energy out so that you can stop focusing on what you're missing, what was lost, and start focusing on what was positive about it and the blessing of the relationship in order to get into a loving place for the next one.
And also who you get to grow into. So in summary, knowing that you didn't do something wrong, that you're doing the very best, that they're doing the very best, and that this is an opportunity for you to regain who you are, define who you are, and build the loving around those characteristics and traits that you love about yourself. And then what Jan said, to really acknowledge there's a grieving process that's involved through this and give yourself the space and time to do so.
So if you've been dumped or have had a difficult end to a relationship, we'd love to hear about it. Please comment below.
And for more Relationship 911, go ahead and click subscribe.